Hopefully, we'll be in all the competitions next year because we're going to get into Europe and not be silly in the domestic.
We should at least get into Europe. I mean,
if
we don't
some form of Europe,
some form.
Listen, if we another bold statement.
Oh, go on, Crookie.
We're winning the Champions League. Here we go.
No, we can't not finish in the top 6 now. You look at the gap between the top 6, and there's nobody coming out of the chasing pack.
It's starting to even out.
The top 6 should be nailed on.
So we've secured Europa football.
The top 6 should be nailed on. But I'm going to go further than that.
And I guess it depends what happens in the Champions League.
Because there's no midweek games.
Top 3.
Because Michael Carrick has restored that belief. I do think third is up for grabs, but that wasn't what I'm going to say. I'm going to say now it's going to be a failure if we don't finish in the top 4.
Or top 5, as in for champ.
Yeah, I mean,
if we don't secure Champions League.
Top 5 should be enough. But bearing in mind,
failure.
But bearing in mind, Liverpool are going to be
games.
distracted by Europe. Chelsea are going to be distracted by Europe. They're both inconsistent.
Think about how many teams are in Europe.
Aston Villa, I think
when
you're going to get into a position with Unai Emery where I think he will prioritise the Europa League.
Yes, and rightly so.
So I think it will be a massive letdown if from here we don't get in the top 5. And I'll tell you what, we wouldn't have been saying that 3 weeks ago.
No chance.
No, of course we wouldn't. And I think,
with the other fella.
he who Cookie shall not name. I do think
sorry
though.
If you're watching
yeah.
Actually, you haven't even said sorry to us since you left. So
that's the other point.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, thank you to us.
He went on that media walk to get a few snaps, got on his jet, and that was it. But I do think that every time that we do have a win and a good performance under Carrick, it does damn Ruben Amorim and his ideas, and it just shows,
he damned himself.
Yeah.
But we'll never know if he would have made it work or not. But it was taking too long. he wasn't flexible enough with his tactics. He prioritised what he wanted. And you look at Kobbie Mainoo, you look at Patrick Dorgu. I know Lisandro Martinez was out for a little bit, but didn't look great under Amorim when he did play. Bruno Fernandes, they're all looking better under Michael Carrick, and I just think there's also that stat going around, isn't it, that it took Ruben Amorim 36 Premier League games to win 3 in a row. Carrick has taken just 3. Like, that's insane.
He's never lost, Michael Carrick, in 2 spells.
We've now won 11 games. We've won 11 games, which was the same as last season. Like,
we've got the same amount of points already as last season as well.
So yeah, it's I think the more that you're seeing this, and as someone who did try to defend Ruben Amorim, I did try to see the positives, and I did try to grasp at certain things and try to see the good. No, I don't regret it, because I understand where I didn't know what was going to happen, did I? So I think you have to.
You were seeing what was happening.
That's your.
And we
true.
tried to tell you.
True. Oh no,
you and I got shot down by you and Ryan. You're negative this. You always coming in there negative this.
We were realistic.
You weren't.
Exactly.
No.
And now look.
You know what? I love how you two are trying to twist and turn this, but you're not going to twist and turn it. The thing is, that's our manager, and you have to try and get behind your manager. You have to try to see the best in situations. And it's not like, as much as it was terrible, there were certain things, some of the big games that we were actually doing quite well in. Yes, I know that there were other issues, but I am not taking back trying to see.
I think that apology should be as loud as Patrick Dorgu's one.
Dorgu was lucky to get to. You know what?
Oh,
I had people that have known me a very long time. I had people messaging me about that, saying, "Why? What are you playing at?
Why?
Like, you have to
by
stand,
doing the right thing. No, it's okay.
Stand on business.
No, it's a bigger person, bigger character.
Do you feel let down that after you defended him so much, he's not done what every other manager who leaves a football club does and just releases a statement? It might be full of platitudes, but at least they've got the respect for the fans to do it.
So thank people like you who never lost faith.
Let's not twist this. Let's not twist it, right? So
do you feel betrayed?
Yeah, the Amorim disciples have been let down by their leader.
I've not been an Amorim disciple. Take that back right now. I have not. Just because I tried to see the good aspects of the manager doesn't mean that I was like waving the flag for the fan club.
What were those good aspects?
Yeah, but you can't see things that aren't there though. We were trying to say, but look at these games we're losing. Look at the style of play.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, when I'm sat with 2 very negative people, you've got to try and
Can you
offer
stop
some
calling
balance.
us negative and replace that with realists, please? When I'm sitting here with 2 realists,
you've got to try and offer some balance. But I was actually trying to say something positive about Michael Carrick in that it just exposes more and more that this wasn't working. And a lot of people, a lot of articles being written about what a waste once again from the hierarchy that, the 14 months with him.
I asked Danny Murphy last night, actually, when we were doing our transfer deadline show, and we turned our focus to United and the lack of signers. I asked him, did they basically waste a year with the previous manager? And he said, yeah. They did.
Technically.
Should have gone after Bilbao. You look at Tottenham now, and Tottenham fans won't like me saying this. I'm not popular there anyway. But every time I watch Spurs, first half against Man City on Sunday,
dreadful,
I keep going back to, but how on earth did we lose that final to Tottenham?
It's
because they're no better this season than they were last.
They're worse. Yeah.
At least United are now showing some potential.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's true. A little bit of a Carrick stat. I know you like some stats.
Yeah, go on.
Including his first spell in 21. Man United have won 4 of their 5 Premier League games with Carrick in charge, obviously drawing one of them. He's only the 3rd manager to win 4+ of his first 5 league matches in charge of the club. Do you know who the other 2
I've seen this
are?
stat, so I know the answer, so I'll let Crookie answer it.
Out of it then.
Ollie
is one.
Yep.
Who is the other one?
So Matt.
He is bang on the money.
Well done, Crookie. You are a Man United fan.
You're a real United fan.
Yeah.
Loved that from you, Crookie. Loved that. I forgot even where we was.
Even as a Southerner Crook, you're still,
He's real. I think, just for me, long may it continue. What I have come back on, and I will admit this, I think at the beginning, maybe I was probably on my own with this, before we played a game with Michael Carrick, when I knew it was going to be him, but we haven't played a game yet, I was like Roy Keane, I'll be honest. I was saying, look, I'm going to get behind Michael Carrick. He's coming in to help us at a tough time, but not experienced enough. I'm not expecting miracles. I think this job is probably going to be a bit big for him. He shouldn't get the job full time no matter what happens. Already, I have to say, there has to be a corridor, a window, or should I say, a window of opportunity for him to get the job.
It has to be considered.
It has to. That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
He will be.
And it's too early because look, we don't know. We could go on a bad run. Or we don't know. The same thing that you said as a failure that could happen. Yeah. Could fall off a cliff. Who knows?
There's a lot of different factors, isn't there? Because we don't know what's going to happen for the rest of the season. But I just think, does he have what it takes? If Crookie and I's delusions of what could happen next season, And I'm not saying he does or he doesn't, because I don't know. But I think one of the questions is, if you are actually competing in the top 4 or competing for the top 4 consistently all season, does he have what it takes? Is he going to be able to handle that? Is he going to be able to handle the players, the kind of games, the tactics, etc.? I don't know. I'm not saying either way. There's arguments for both, maybe.
I think he's got the character, and actually, you go back to his time as a United player. And unless I'm rewriting history, I seem to recall that when we signed him, the reaction from the fan base was quite underwhelming. And he took that on his shoulders, and he became an absolute icon of the football club. So I think mentally, he's got the personality to deal with that pressure.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, he can definitely deal with the pressure.
What was it he said? I remember seeing an interview that he spoke to Fergie when he'd signed, and he tried to compare Man United to Chelsea or something. And he said, as the words were coming out of my mouth, I was like, why have I just said this? I need to take it back. And Fergie just kind of looked at me and was like, no, this is Manchester United. This is very, very different.
It's a different ball game altogether. But I just think you can see the impact that he's had on the team already.
But it's got to be everlasting. It's not unusual for a manager to come in
new
and
manager bounce.
Maybe because the previous one wasn't the most popular.
Exactly.
The players suddenly up their game. They've got to maintain that for the rest of the season now.
100%.
I think it's there. Again, this run of games. I mean, we haven't talked about our friend who's going to get a haircut. Tottenham
Fingers
at home.
crossed.
Yeah.
Then it's
West Ham
away.
And that would be 5.
Palace at home. Everton away. It could be 7. It could be 7.
Oh God.